Hey, welcome to Life After My Stroke. I'm going to tell you a cool story about something that happened to me yesterday, and then I might go off on a bit of a rant, but they're related, and forgive me for the rant. So last weekend I was part of the biggest photo shoot in Chicago history. I was the lighting FX guy. See all the lights here? I'm a DJ and I also consult with the lighting industry, and a friend of mine was hosting this photography event and asked me to come along and light some sets. So I created some sets and I worked with several photographers all weekend. There were like 40 models and 40 photographers, so they were rotating in and out constantly. And once the photographers really understood what I did, they were kind of grabbing me and asking me to help them with sets and even suggesting how to maybe pose models and things, which was really cool. I became kind of a director too. So by the end of this weekend, I felt like I had a pretty good handle on things, and the photographer that I was working with and the model I was working with, they really wanted my input on a lot of things, and they wanted set changes and light changes and suggestions on how to uplight and backlight. And so I'm running around a lot. I'm grabbing maybe different fixtures off of my little work table and changing stuff around and tilting the model this way or that way, whatever. At the end of the shoot, I even did a pose with the model, and it was a physical pose where I had to hold her like, I don't know, stiletto in my hand. It was cool. So anyway, she Facebook friends me the next day. Yesterday, out of the blue, I get this message, and it says, "Are you okay? I heard you had a stroke." And I just smiled because I got to tell her, yeah, I did 3 years ago. She did not even notice. And I limp around. I got the drop foot, I got the arm. I mean, there's no reason that most people wouldn't notice it, and I was tired, but she still didn't, and that was cool. I think it's all about attitude. If you don't act like there's a problem, people aren't going to see a problem. If you hold your head up and you make eye contact and you talk to people like you're normal, they're going to treat you like you're normal. Kind of brings me to the next part of this video I want to talk about. In one of the forums today, I read someone post, "Good for you people who are not noticed in public that you look normal," which was my experience with this message I got, which I thought was cool. But people notice me, and it really upsets my 17-year-old daughter when people ask me what's wrong. And a lot of the responses in that, well, yeah, people are not considerate, and I'm not comfortable with it either, and I avoid eye contact now because I don't like it. There are a couple things that I wanted to say to that. First of all, it's National Stroke Month. It's about education, and who better to educate the public than stroke survivors? And I don't think that people mean harm by asking you what's going on. I think it's concern and curiosity, and I never understood why people aren't supposed to ask disabled people questions like that. Who better to educate the public than the disabled? I think a lot of stroke survivors expect the National Stroke Association to do it. Well, why do you think I'm doing these videos? Yeah, sure, it's to support you guys, but not only you guys are watching these videos, a lot of people are watching these videos. So I'm thinking, you know, I don't know if it made any difference, but if I would have ran into somebody a week or two before my stroke and I noticed something was going on, and for some reason I felt compelled to ask them what happened, and they told me, and then they went a step further to suggest that everyone should get checked regardless of age, and it's probably not a bad idea to, you know, pop a couple aspirin a week, just preventative. It's a blood thinner. It's, you know, you don't want to take too much, but a little bit might help you, or keep some on you just in case. Maybe they might tell me that, you know, the fast thing, the face, arm, speech isn't the only sign of stroke. There are other signs of it. A lot of things that somebody could have told me, and I'm not sure that it would have made a difference at all, but it may have made a difference. You know, I think that sometimes stroke survivors, or most of the time, stroke survivors feel like that just when they're out in public, everyone needs to be patient with them. And I agree they should be. However, you know, I think that we need to be patient with others too. We need to extend that courtesy, because these people might ask questions that you might think are stupid because you're educated on it. You're experts on this. They're not. We're teaching them. And so it was a dumb question. You know, the only dumb question is one you don't ask. So it might sound silly to you, it might be redundant to you, but you may help somebody. You may save someone's life by being open and talking to people. And you know, every time that you make someone feel bad or guilty for asking you about what's going on with you, you're just making it worse. Because they may never ask anybody again what's going on. They may be afraid to talk to anybody about this kind of stuff. and awareness does not spread. So if you're into stroke awareness and you want people to be patient with you, then you need to be patient with them and make them aware when they ask. It's all the attitude, folks. Hold your head high, make that eye contact, and say hi to people when they look at you, and don't act damaged. Don't act damaged. That's all attitude, guys. That has nothing to do with your physical being. That has everything to do with your attitude. That's all I got to say today. Sorry about the rant at the end. It will resonate with some. It will piss others off. But hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. Take care of yourself.